Everybody. I am iiiYansaje Muse, and we're celebrating my solar return. This is Bars, Bottles, and Cards, where I'll be sharing some poetry, sharing some tarot readings for those of you who are open to receive those, and to give you a sneak peek on what's to come and the Mothership Mystic Boutique. But give me 1 second. I gotta beam up in another area. 1 second. Now, with all things pertaining to indigenous spirituality, we begin all things with pouring libations. And pouring libations is a way of staying connected and paying respect to those who have crossed over before you. So I'm not going to do it the traditional way since we're online. So here's what we're going to do to honor our ancestors. I wrote a poem dedicated to the ancestors, and I want everyone to close their eyes to meditate on their ancestors as this poem is read. It's called Whispers in the Wind. An ode to Egunmi. Just when I thought I was a loner, hearing whispers in the wind, humbly ever gratuitous for revelations that they weren't imaginary friends. Just when I thought I was a loner, hearing whispers in the wind, hoo-wee, shame on me, they never let me break, only bend. The ancient he's and she's of me enter my mind in correction, speak through my taste in life, only vintage selections, serve warnings through my feelings in the pit of my belly. They, the legacy, I, the legend. Through me, they say it. I walk the globe as their mosaic, many I never met them. Still, I will never forget when they stood sentinel in hats and high heels when my life was in mayhem. Odd as it may seem, I received many names and introductions and dreams. Visions of quads of regimes, of divine warriors and women all seeming to resemble me. Correction, I look like them. I, the bloom, they, the root that pushes the stem. Just when I thought I was a loner, hearing whispers in the wind. Chevy the left leg, later right, visions in plain sight, slight questions I thought would never end. Patiently protecting me through every dark night as I began to understand why they choose me to send. Matriarchal mauve blossoms this sacred cloth with the meridian of dark rainbow flowers of mysteries. Loaded with patriarchal secrets, this sacred cloth I keep like a Christian would a cross, just when I thought I was a loner, hearing whispers in the wind, gratuitous for revelations that they weren't imaginary friends. iiiYansaje Muse. Libations to our ancestors. Ashe. So, I have tonight's show and a lineup on what you can expect if you spend a week in my orbit on 222.9 the Mothership. And today's Moon Day, ruled by the moon, and tonight's moon is waxing in Virgo. It is the last day of the first decan of Leo season, as tomorrow Leo goes into its second decan in half Sagittarius, I believe. So moon days on the Mothership are dedicated to blues, dedicated to emotional healing. Because Moon Day is day 1 of the week, which is the waters that birth, as the moon rules the tides. So here on 222.9 the Mothership, blue is Moon Day, blue is Yemojadi, blue is the vibration to focus on. So before I get into the poem, I'll share with you some things you can expect with Moon Days on the Mothership. Take a look. I painted this so royal blue and pure white for you. Listen. Risky business I might be, but there has never been anything poison about me. I'm changing my line. That disgusting label on my back never matched my spirit. Only a product of chapter deans unable to differentiate between green plants and elephant tusks. For 18 years it must have pissed me off that the poison ivy excuse was missing 2 letters from my grandmother's name. An O and a R between the V and the Y. These young ladies should really stop playing while saying words like sisterhood. I wish I could line back up the neophytes and profile my behavior and make amends for parts I played in names that should have never gone across my sisters' backs for my laughs. My karma I grasp and transform it into a lesson to put in the air like the good stuff next to a stiff whiskey. Risky business I might be, but there has never been anything poison about me. I'm changing my line name. I began to take that damn song as an insult to me. My big butt and smile never made me untrustworthy. Belle Biv DeVoe sang of a hoe in their verse that never fit my description, see. It spoke more to what people wish to believe. Maybe because they tried to block or simply chose not to conceive my real deeds. I don't blame them. I wasn't yet either open to receive. The memories of baby dome blasts. I'd get up and dance for acceptance, then so spiritually reckless. Now I scribe and correct this. Poison is but overdosed magic. Many blame the bottle 'cause they won't kick the habit. I've had it with wearing projections of ignorance. This moment of balance feels like bliss. I still throw up the Z Kitty sign. Give it a little kiss. Risky business I might be, but there has never been anything poisoned about me. I'm changing my line name. The confused who refuse the light call healing elixirs poison, as the truth is called lies by devils. I take naming ceremonies back to their ancient elevated levels. In Kujichakulia activation, I station this revelation like radios and pitch this scenario across divine 9 mental scrolls. So whether you're pink and green, crimson and cream, blue and white, purple, navy blue, black or brown paired with gold, take a deeper control over what names you allow yourself to be called. For some, this may seem trivial, petty and small, but words hold power, or they wouldn't have taken hours and called us Toby. Don't let the long nails and lashes fool you. Get to know me. Some underlying feelings are hidden in jest. Some line names spell daggers in the back with the same letters across the chest. So may I suggest, if the name on your back speaks less to your energy's best, while you silently protest, yet form a smile and accept at the behest of toxic tradition, respect your intuition and reposition the letters to spell a better vibration briskly. Yeah, risky business I might be, but there has never been anything poisoned about me. I'm changing my line name. I'm a healer, so let me fix it. From here on out, call me Big Sister Elixir. I'm changing my line name. iiYansaje Muse, moon waxing in Aquarius. And we're back. Yes, you saw that correctly. Your girl is a member of the smooth and dominant Omega Gamma chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And of course I had to create a space on the Moon Day Blue space for my soror so we can talk about these principles, take them to a higher vibration, you know what I mean? I'm iiiYansaje Muse, and this is Bottles, Bars, and Cards. Just an online virtual celebration because I've been doing a whole lot of technical work behind the scenes, and I'm happy to just share this time and space with you, allow myself to get used to being on camera more often, and just share some things, some poetry, some tarot, some artwork, you know. So, as we were talking about moon days ruling the waters of tide, internally, spiritually, metaphysically, that speaks much to emotional healing. This is why a lot of people dread Mondays. Not because it's the time to come off of your job and off of your weekend relaxation back into your work week, but Monday is ruled by the emotions. And for so long, we as a people have lived in a society where we have to mask our real emotions under politeness, under pseudo strength, under anything that makes you feel like you don't have the right to be human. And that's just not so. So moon days is the space and time aligned for you allow your tides to be high. But more on that later. Here's a poem that I wrote about my own emotional healing. It's called Alligator Pears. You will hear this song in rotation on the 6 o'clock show Rhyme the Underground Gospel, but this particular piece I'm about to share is special because it's a part of an encore as a song with Rain the Poet, with Marie Brown, with Chris Wise, composed by Tex Allen, and with an entourage of very talented jazz musicians, including the likes of John Harvey as the drums. I can't remember everybody that was on this song, but it's a really nice piece. And you'll hear it on Mondays, perhaps Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Rhyme the Underground Gospel. This is Alligator Pears. Waters. Monsoons down my face from my window's panes. Libations for a stillborn love so empty inside I feel insane. I free my soul in a wailing downpour. I cry, I sweat, I purge, I release some more. Now, wild vines grow, new sprouts show, faster than all of your loving lies. Attempts to bury me inside, then hide your hands and snatch the fruits I gave so many times. Willingly, in the name of all the love I had. Ivory keys summon melodies of healing vibrations, visual affirmations, signed in my heart chakra's lush green, dewdrops, sun rays, purple lilacs. The devil's beating his wife for keeping her soul intact, but she's more than he bargained for. She sharpens her machetes and cuts back, then cackles. I love how a raindrop caresses a purple lilac blossom. Reminds me of your forefingers to my brow. Now this loss will cost you, and time will show you how. Goodbyes to where our skies and seas harmonize. Now archives never to be spoken to children never born of this. Past life debt paid, laid to rest in a vault of repressed memory. Concrete sealed, fault shared duality, another truth revealed. A blush, but a missed kiss and wind whispers you said hi, telepathically. You. Like a motion picture I can't turn off, so I retreated into my sacred innate and created my alternate ending and switched out my soundtrack sweet as my new beginning, trading my violins for snares, going from caring just too much to hell I just don't care. Rather consummate the new taste of alligator pears, losing all hows, wins, and wheres pertaining to you. Sharing this agony stops my feet from dragging higher past calling. I got things to do. Instead of crying or chewing through your muzzles, my broken pieces solve the puzzles for others. I turn iridescent and embrace all my colors. The sand sifts through the hourglass and my cauldron bubbles. You got me flying through the wind. My soul set aflame for every scar that bore your name. I gaze below at our bridge burned to cinders. I no longer render my energy to chop down my trees to rekindle. I'll finally be as selfish as you call me. Feels too good to keep defying all of your gravity with each stroke of my wing to the wind. Sunshine. After 7 seas of sorrow cleansed my cloud, sprouts, lilac blossoms, I dare ask how I survived your impossible moisture. After years of a draining drought, perhaps from being improperly irrigated, now say that our picture fades to black and white. This night, I give back your title as the seat of Satan and blatantly loved her as one kings emerged from. You, now, nothing more than a crack in my vase that gives it character, a black thread in my tapestry. I love you, always, but from the far side of the galaxy, a place where it can do me no harm or set off my alarms. Consider this a farewell shake dance to a snake charm and sensual silhouettes to rhythms of your regrets. Sunset, dusk, the moon rises, and then the sweet dawn, carrying fragments of my broken heart. I journey on. Your name for me now? Deuces, gone. As time grows wild vines over this abandoned structure, as if you never, we never, even, ever were. iiYansaje Muse. Thank you for allowing me to share. Gonna take a quick break because I got a lot to get through in a tiny frame of time. I'm gonna run a couple of things by you and then we're going to get to the tarot. I'm iiYansaje Muse and you're listening to 222.9 The Mothership. Uh-oh. Stop. Sorry about that. Variations of Blue. Sea-inspired handmade healing stone jewelry. iiYansaje's glass gourd bottle art. Published books, recorded poems, ebooks, Mother Blue Hue's online courses, Mother Peace Round Tarot, and Dream Interpretation readings, and other Yemoja or Lokun inspired handmade mystic oddities, all created by iiYansaje Muse, the Mothership Mystic Boutique, the Moon Collection. All proceeds go to 222.9 The Mothership. Beam up. All right, and we are back. So that lovely montage that you just saw was my archives of all of the artwork that I've been doing since 2014. Then I put everything down to build the Mothership, and everything's come full circle. So all I can say is, iiiYansaje Olodumare. Oh. Now we're moving on to Tuesday, where, well, let me give a quick signature real quick for those who are listening on the airwaves. This is 222.9 The Mothership, Mystic Internet Radio, and I'm iiYansaje Muse, the mother of the ship, bringing you all this musical mojo on my solar return. How old am I? Don't ask. It ain't none of your business, so I done stopped counting. Okay? Okay. Moving forward. We're broadcasting live from my Facebook channels, the main page, all 7 cylinders through all 7 days of the week. I do have a Facebook page for each Orisha in each day of the week, because a mothership deals with different things on different days, just as the planets and the quasars do. So, Mondays, if you aren't already, please follow the Mother Blue Hues Facebook page. I am messing around in this app to see if I can. I'm still figuring how to use this app to type it in the comment section, but I don't see it, so I'm not going to stress that right now. But the name of the blog is Mother Blue Hues. That's where you will find me on moon days, where we will discuss dreams, where we will discuss emotional healings, vibrate on the color blue, listen to the mothers of music, and get clarity through Mother Peace Round Tarot readings, which leads me to tonight's draw, at least for Monday. Switch the camera real quick. Okay. So those of you that are watching instead of listening, tonight's tarot draw comes from the Six of Wands. And it shows up upright. And I find that interesting how that's connected, because today vibrates on a 6, and 222 is a 6. The year 2022 vibrates on a 6. And 6 is the number in the Orisha way, sacred to Shango. The Six of Wands, the suit of Wands, represents conductors, or our ability to make things happen or not happen for ourselves. And so this card comes to show us how to channel our emotions into something productive. As you would charge something in water, water is a conductor. So allow your emotions, your waters, to serve fruitful things, if that makes sense. You know how people say use your pain, put your pain into your music, put your healing into the things that you want to see manifest into the light. And the wands come to show you that it's already in your hands, because you have to hold a wand in order to wave it. Going to take a quick break real quick before we get to the Tuesday sector of 222.9, the Mothership's bottles, bars, and cards. Stay tuned. Every 4 minutes, the heavens switch positions, and it will serve your spirit well to have the heads up ahead of time, as every day is special, as we know. But this program is designed to bring you the mystic details of what makes each and every day special and different from the one before. It brings an elixir of numerology, astrology in various form, moon phases, daily divinations, and anything else pertaining to cosmic phenomena. Join me at 9 p.m. nightly for this elixir on The Forecast. If you miss your nightly forecast, well, it airs again at 6 a.m. So you can't miss it, at least and not be fully aligned with your day. So make sure that you tune in to The Forecast on 222.9, The Mothership. Beam up. And we're back. See, y'all already got a peek at my second tarot deck. That just goes to show you the power of Mars, the driving force that puts things into action, which is the actual opposite of Moon Day's nurturing energy. So on Moon Days, the Mothership venerates Yemoja and nurtures the waters. Tuesday, it goes into Mars, the energy of Ogun. Actually, the energy of all Father energy. When you think about unbridled drive, the force forward, the divine masculine works and how that balances. And that's why Moon Day, getting your emotions lined up, is important, because Tuesday takes those emotions into action. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, bringing you this musical mojo, and you are listening to 222.9 The Mothership, and broadcasting from YouTube, all 8 of my Facebook pages, and we're going to get LinkedIn together some other time. But tonight we're celebrating bars, bottles, and cards, and I'm iiiYansaje Muse. So, coming up next Tuesdays is where you're going to hear a lot of the fatherly grooves on the Mothership. This is where we're going to talk about plant magic. This is where we're going to talk about the earth, the grounding, the connections to the earth. So if you aren't already, follow the Peridot Poultice page. Those of you that are watching from the Peridot Poultice page, you will only find me there on Tuesdays. So in a nutshell, you guys are going to have to follow all of the pages to stay aligned and completely in the orbit. But let's move on with the poetry. This next poem, I've only read once. This poem is very deep to me because this poem captures the sentiment that I was in at a very important turning point in my life that led to a huge part of my spiritual destiny, priestesshood. This poem is called The Call. I painted this iridescent green for you. Listen. 12:17. 2017. 2017. 1:22, 9 a.m. sharp, in a dream state. The clock read, said 8:44. Another double-digit master number rose me from my sweet slumber, something like a psychic call. Only this time I was the querent. It's apparent my ego tried to block this destined path in the name of making it. Tried to block this distant path, but the math didn't add, and this mass broke like their hearts, full of expectation, but I was tired of faking it. The day read 7, number of God. Wasn't a morning person, or so I thought. But this is an rising. Heating winter skies, my day of reckoning, my ancestors beckoning my heart like a psychic call. Only this time I was the querent. For the signs to become this blatant, goddess must have really been patient. Unlike me at times, I scribed these rhymes from my heart like a hood tattoo. Father sky was blue washed bright, and the sun, ruler sun, was beaming oh so high, oh so high, oh so high. It painted ghetto streets gold. So high that it painted ghetto streets gold, a salve over the scars on my soul. I snuffed out doubt like a black candle that lit my fears aflame, and watched them go up in smoke, and an ether sage wedged between my teeth. I whispered to the wind, please make way for me. I stepped runway style on rain-polished sun rays and said, hey. I landed on this planet 4 blocks from where I'm standing. She planned this. He endorsed this, of course. I never felt so natural. My pounding heart surrendered to its natural drumbeat cadence, switching my hips in a manner so ancient. Adjacent to the timidness of religion that was stunting my growth, me and the universe snicker at our own inside joke. I tightened my cloak and trusted the sources that know everything, so I lifted my every voice to sing and let my free drum ring as strong gust of breeze blew my maroon cape in waves over a white dress to the floor. The keys to all other doors, the locks jammed, leaving only the space for the one ahead. Seems I picked the door I didn't pick at all, recalling days I dirtied myself deliberately, being my own worst enemy, ego bombarding, purposely ignoring my call, recognizing and diminishing my own minion voice in a half sentence. Another privately understood laugh at the illusions of normality I apparently never had. I felt some fist in my nerves, they released, my bad, and if I felt any better I kissed myself, just keeping it real. I've been down for so long, out for so many years, imprisoned by so many fears. Stop sign. I listened, stared at it for a second, drew in a deep breath and let that part of me, the weakling, resistant she, balance how she needed to as I looked both ways before I crossed the street. Becoming accustomed to bearing my cosmic soul, I picked up my stroll as Mama sang her wind song, and to gratitude the trees danced. Ethereality is potent, realizing my core was only bent to be molded, allowing my all I thought that broke into form a mosaic, like an innate in a majestic yoga pose. Archives of suggested cases close. A pataki of victorious war stories are floating on faith, something like coasting, knowing like a too short dress showing. Heartbreak. Betrayals, lies, curses, hearses, mind games, passions, flames, switching names, morphing from a suicidal dame to a warrior-esque renegade. The princess rests on the peaceful side of 9 machetes. Yank up my dress, step over this puddle. Just making sure my hem don't get muddy. No energies vibing together anywhere, no energies vibing trouble anywhere in sight. Just bright as the morning sun. I'm singing of a higher love by Steve Winwood. Turned the corner, crossed the street, gave my obsidian black a squeeze like my arms under a dark crimson coat. A secret promise to never again abandon me. I drew in a deep breath and gave my toxic training the kiss of death off a Newport drag. The door to my destiny ironed, cast. The rest was taken from me, and I stand here and laugh and let you look puzzled. Some heats just melt muscles. Behind that door is the piece both ways that connected my whole puzzle and made my life make sense. Categories, expectations, released in a forgiving kiss and blown to a swift, shiny wind. I bent and removed my shoes at the door of the priest. The journey begins. iiYansaje Muse. That poem was about the morning that I went and got the reading that revealed that I was to become Mothership. So here's more about what to expect on Tuesdays. And when we come back, I'm going to share some artwork and a Tuesday tarot draw. I'm iiYansaje Muse, and you are listening to 222.9 The Mothership. Beam up. Previously on the Wind Song, Moon is waning in Pisces and Neptune is showing more of her shadow side, confining all inside in a wake of a disaster I choose not to call by name. To let ride, get in here. I need to talk to you. It's been a long time coming and I've been calling you too. It would serve your spirit well to find your place that's divine, and all who choose not to may be out of time. Your home is in your heart, so go. deep inside. Here's a start. Sit, settle. Moonrise. Black and glowing skies advise my infernos inside. After long days of divine talk, my scratch paper makes dead trees walk through portals of my automatic writing. Igniting, exciting, it gets surprising how they drip off my lips and tongue, like ruby pebbles turned loose and skipped across Niger rivers of all my creative jujus. I am iiiYansaje, poetic as Ngoma, and this is my book of moonbeams. Pataki, oni mi ojo esikun. Ik mi jo odunik bawa ogun. Metadilogun awano joik ba fere. I'm getting some rusted pipes removed in my crown chakra room. They must have been blocking my flow. My heart is here for it. And I'm setting my poetry month out even though sheltered in. It's nothing new cause I've been a hermit 7 years. I'm setting my poetry month out by writing and releasing new pieces, setting forth my archives and setting up some new things, so y'all might want to stay tuned. Speaking of archives, here is a poem that I wrote over a decade ago from the poetry book project Crying Diamonds, re-released as Crying Diamonds 11 years later. This video was shot back in 2012 when I was in my 5-year, just releasing a little bit into the fullness of my being. It explores the imbalanced state of the heart chakra energy, the other side of the color green.
Anonymous letter. Dear spirit of yours, beware of me. I come as quickly and as quietly as a speeding bullet from a mobster's 380 with a silencer. I often bring my cousins raised in violence, and I'm as reliable as rain in the IRS when you're broke. And if you're weak, I'll work through other people to destroy your dreams and hopes, especially when the being I'm using is nearing the end of their rope. See, I destruct like suicide bombers in nuclear warfare. Anytime there's someone too free-spirited and successful, I am sure to be there. I reside in many pretty people, but trust me, I am ugly. And if there is as much as a hairline crack in your self-esteem like fat girls in jeans, I fit in snugly. I must admit, I can find some of the most superficial reasons to surface. No real purpose for me except division and destruction, and my timing is always perfect. I fill up cemeteries at the hands of confusion and nonsense faster than hot water in a garden tub. I am the reason that a lot of people have no trust and can get no love, while brothers shoot each other up in the club. See, I am the founder of lies, rumors, gossips, and deceit. The reason that women size each other up and compete, and my work is never complete, so I go from person to person until harmony is obsolete. I even destroy families. In fact, that's one of my specialties. I'm too subtle to notice at first. I never seem to surface until I get worse. And by then it's too late. My seed is planted away at your spirit, and I eat away at you like you just started to gestate. See, I am the big dreamer's greatest deep-seat fear. I managed to keep a culture known as Negroes killing and destroying their own heroes for years. I am everywhere you look and go, so there's nowhere to hide. And if you look close enough, I am visible in people's eyes. See, I may appear to friend, sometimes involuntary. I am not quite what I seem. I give a brand new twist to the color green, and as much as I seem to enjoy the chaos I cause in this world, I must admit, it can really do without me. So dear spirit of yours, I'm telling you, I'm ugly. From the beginning to the end of time, the eternal queen of crime, signed, jealousy.
Next up, we have Greens. iiiYansaje's gourd bottle art. Greens. Personalized poultices in the forms of oils and baths. The Mars collection. Chemetic tarot readings. Other handmade mystic oddities. Greens. Earth tone inspired healing stone Mars collection. Peridot poultice, blog articles, and online courses. It's all inside the Mothership Mystic Boutique, the Mars collection. Green vegetations, plant magic, ibasheo gun, ibasheo nile, ibasheo chosi, heart chakra, jazz, voices of the fathers, Mars. Welcome to Tuesdays on the Mothership, 222.9. Beam up. And we are back. So, let's take a look at our tarot message from my Tuesday tarot deck, which is the Comedic Tarot deck. Yes, I do have a different featured divinatory tool for every day of the week. So Moon Day features my Mother Peace Round Tarot deck. So those of you that may want some clarity or some readings from the Mother Peace Round Tarot deck, you can get it from my Moon Day page. And on Tuesdays is when we go to the Comedic Tarot deck. So we're going to take a look at that. And tonight's card actually showed itself before, we started on Tuesday. So here we go. What we have here is the dazzling light. And what this card is a symbol of harmony. And this card is ruled by the zodiac sign Pisces. You see that here in the corner. And then the planet Saturn. Pisces represents endings, where Jupiter represents, this is a Jupiter symbol. The Jupiter symbol represents expansion, where Pisces represents zodiac house 12, which is the endings. So endings and beginnings must be in harmony in order to stand in the dazzling light. And that's what the message of this card is bringing. This is one of the major arcane cards in this tarot deck. And this came up on today on piggybacking on the Mother Peace Round Tarot deck about the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands reminded us to conduct. This card is more of a reminder of expanding that conducting energy. If you're going to conduct or use your magic wand charged by your emotions, then we connect it to this card with the sign of expansion. Coming over here to the zodiac house 12, in order to expand, old things must be pushed out. So this is a symbol of a necessary ending. The fish is also a symbol of the sea creature, which also touches on dealing with yesterday's emotion. And here you have the masculine and feminine balance that are here in harmony. So it's harmony, ends, and expansion that bring about the dazzling light. And that's how we go about connecting these two tarot cards. So keeping things rolling along, I'm going to get to our next day of the week, which is Wednesday. And Wednesday is ruled by Mercury. Wednesday is the day ruled by Uranus as well. And Wednesday is also the week's climax and the day of the week that we honor Oya. So I'm going to play a couple more things, promos for the other shows, and I will be right back. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, and this is Bottles, Bars, and Cards. Shh. quiet, calm. We're in the stacks, the books, the library. The books are but an evolved version of the woods because, like the trees, they hold much wisdom, only this time in printed form. Reading is good for your spirit and your mind, so let's take a literary journey. One book at a time. Let's explore. Yes, oh yes, the Mothership has a built-in library that I like to call the Stacks. Welcome. Attention, attention, attention all star seeds, time travelers, mystic geniuses, and those finding their way in the cosmic divinisphere. All passengers aboard the Mothership under the sound of my voice, I have a quick question. Where are you in the Mothership's galaxy? Are you a cosmic ray? Are you a solar flare? A blue galaxy? A lyrical meteor? A gamma ray? An infrared spectrum? Are you an aurora? Are you a supermoon? Are you a supernova? Are you a galactic nucleus? Are you celestial? Are you a constellation? Are you an equinox, an ionosphere, or are you an exoplanet? Let your spirit decide. Show your support for 222.9 The Mothership by becoming a member and choosing your level today. Membership level gifts include audiobooks, paperback books, healing stone bracelets, bottle art, and other mystic gifts created, painted, written, and produced by yours truly. Other membership level gifts include my signature astrology, numerology, and tarot readings by email. And most of all, you will know that you have sown a seed into an innovative, futuristic concept of melanated, esoteric radio. So let your spirit decide. Visit www.poeticallymuse.org/mothership and hit the scroll all the way down to choose your membership level. You can also choose your membership level on the Mothership's Facebook page, 222.9 The Mothership, or at Mused, M-U-S-E-D, Mothership. Thank you for listening, and thank you in advance for your support. Now back to the groove. And we are back. In case you're just now joining us, I'm iiiYansaje Muse, bringing you all this musical mojo, bringing you a special broadcast tonight live from 222.9 The Mothership on the solar return of the mother of the ship, and that would be moi, yours truly, iiiYansaje Muse, just coming back off of Tuesday's break and going into Wednesday's vibrations and what you can expect when you tune in or beam up to the Mothership on a Wednesday. As I said, Wednesday is ruled by Mercury, where Mercury has a big sister named Uranus. So that's a Eshu or Ya double dose of troublesome planetary energy. In the African ways of the stars, Wednesday is Ojoriru, or the day of confusion. Moon Day is Ojoaje, which is day of financial, day to get your finances together. Financial success, abundance, wealth, the day of Ajay. Tuesday is Ojo Ishigun, and that's the day of victory. We know Ogun loves to fight for those. Wednesday is Ojoriru, or the day of confusion. No wonder, Eshu and Oya are both at work on that day. Well, Eshu's at work every day, but according to the planetary alignments, well, we'll discuss all those things in further broadcasts. Tonight, we're just going to celebrate poetry, bottle art. We're going to celebrate me, because it's my birthday tonight, and we're also going to celebrate with some tarot cards. So this next poem I call this poem one of my pieces in constant progress because I must have revised this poem so many times before I published it. And it's published in a compilation book called Evo, Evolution of a Woman. Those of you that are watching as opposed to listening, you see I'm holding it up in the screen here. I am one of 13 authors. The main author is Shamir Bacon Destin, and the rest of us are the Real Housewives of Houston. I know, right? There's interviews and things about this on my Facebook page. I'll dig up the links later on this week. But this poem is about introspection. This poem is about taking that time to go within and allow yourself to sort out who you are from who you were on every level in which it applies. And I saved this for Wednesday's rotation, or Wednesday's slot tonight, because Oya is the Orisha of change and transformation. Oftentimes for our own good, even if we have to learn the hard way. But this poem is called Within. Hope you enjoy. I bet you wonder where I've been. Within. Absent but perhaps evolving like tsunamis over ocean waves. Praises up, abundance reigns. She makes the truth plain and growing pains more than bearable. Unknowingly wearable, minion scarable, I bet you wonder where I've been. Transitioning when velocities in a funnel, clouds and proudly destructing structures built on misunderstandings, yet landing artistic expressions of my gratitude in the sky. Tapping into 9 past lifetimes, I've been making love to stout truth till the sweat purges the lies. Verses from Akashic records pour out through my pores, shape-shifting in its rawest form, with all doors for meaninglessness closed, locked, an empty cellar restocked, a ticking time bomb, just watch. And a Lodo Mare's vintage vineyard of nourishing black grapes that await to taste sweeter with time and authentic wisdom. Such a savage beast. Unimprisoned at least in an exiled paradise like Asada. Fortunate to escape Sarah Bartman's fate. Learning to love the awkward sound of my own voice like Nina. To dream of stretching bare on Ogun's blacksmith table and letting the goddess remold, reforge. But of course, angels call our voices for their reasons. Shielded under Orisha wings, we comb the globe in new believing, consecrated tongues, new speaking, grieving the old self without bereaving, receiving and conceiving seeds and leaving auras of divinity in our wake. Like black-eyed peas marinating in 4 seasons, just waiting on the cornbread to bake. I bet you wonder where I've been. Within, rolling, twisting, lavender and scenting, thoughts evoked, the expanding spiral spokes provoked in Mary Jane smoke when I made my blunts float, spirit speak then vaporize, words and actions synchronize, strategize, execute the rise above low spiritual conditions, switching positions with systematic screw-overs and climbing back on top of my world, fingers interlocked, millions love not knowing jack drunk, so I let them take their shots. I pray they find the truth in my thoughts. I bet you wonder where I've been. Within. Not hiding under a rock, but something like that. A hermit from conformity, snacking on facts, watching, waiting, anxiously anticipating in a home I built inside my painting, a chamber in my soul where someone once blocked my light. Now heaven and earth consummation is in plain sight. I tossed my Dutch clogs and took a barefoot jog down hallways of abandoned rooms in my DNA strands. Reignited internal flames. It's hot, get a fan. Ancestors occupy, sing they songs, hot damn, mama band, dancing to the rhythm of a divine master plan. For that authentic swag in my back when I stand to set all the Akashic records straight. I bet you wonder where I've been. Within iiiYansaje Muse. Now this book, Evolution of a Woman, is where this poem is published. And it's published along with a short story about my life called A Storm the Whole Time. Because this compilation, Evolution of a Woman, is a compilation of 13 women that have triumphed over hard things, that have gone through intense transformations and were bold enough to tell their stories. Now I have a whole bunch of these on hand, so I'm going to post all the ways to contact me to get the books and to get the poetry and things like that, and how to beam up to the mothership after the broadcast, because I only have two hands and I'm going to enjoy myself and not worry too much about the technicalities right now. I'm still training myself on the system. So thank you for bearing with me. But if you would like a copy of Evolution of a Woman, then I will post a link where you can purchase this book. In the meantime, in between time, let's talk more about Wednesdays on the Mothership. Take a look. Wednesdays, Mercury, Uranus, purples, Ibashe Oya, Ibashe Nanaburu, maroons, exotic voices of the mothers. Welcome to Wednesdays on the Mothership. 222.9. Beam up. And we are back. Let's look at some bottles. I've been doing bars and cards and forgot the bottles. Now, in 2014, I started a venture where I started doing my visual bottle paintings on bottles instead of canvases. Yes, I like to paint on canvases, but for some reason I liked the bottles more. And it touches a lot on the Haitian beliefs that bottle trees captured negative spirits and, eliminated them in the ray of sunlight. So I wanted to share with some of you some of the pieces I already have painted, and I have to tell you, you guys, I'm super excited because this is just a little taste of what I have coming up. Let me play the Uranus collection montage. I don't think I showed you all that one. Let me see. Purples, rich maroons, rich browns, rainbows, iiiYansaje's gourd bottle art, iiiYansaje's gourd bottle art digital prints, books, Malbec planetarium articles and teachings, handmade healing stone jewelry, astrology charts, astrology readings, astrology inspired mystic gifts, and so much more. It's all inside the Mothership Mystic Boutique, the Mercury Uranus collection. And we are back. Before we go any further, I did show you all some things about how you can become a supporting member, and I also posted my Cash App on my Facebook page. So if you are enjoying this broadcast, go ahead and Cash App a sister a $9 seed gift, and let's keep this thing rolling. We grow fruits from planted seeds. So those of you who are enjoying this, go ahead and plant that seed if you haven't already at Cash App iiiYansa. Okay, done with that. This is one of my bottle art paintings called Ostrich Wisdom. As you can see, it has the cowrie shell eyes and a lily bud in its beak with a chain and a scroll that reads Ancestor Wisdom. The eyes are cowrie shells, the third eye is amethyst stone, and this is one of my original handmade bottle art paintings. I've been doing this since 2014, and it's my pleasure and my honor to bring these works back full circle. And with every one of these you purchase, you get an original. I also do custom orders, and I also, I have a mystic boutique as I just showed you, but I wanted to share with you some of the art that wasn't in the collage. So this one is called Ostrich Wisdom. This one's available. Wednesday is also the day of the week that the Mothership deals with astrology. So where Monday deals with dream interpretation, emotional healing, and Mother Peace Round Tarot readings, Tuesday I'm available for plant magics and baths and things of that nature. And Wednesdays we take to the quasars and deal with astrology. So I wanted to show you this art piece. And what this art piece is a special piece that I do for those who get their astrology charts read with me. So when you get an astrology chart done by yours truly, you will also get an original iiiYansaje gourd bottle art piece that has your personalized cosmic information on it, as well as your symbol of African spirituality sign. Because there is a more, of course, the Western astrology system is the oldest. Is the newest. The oldest is the 12 figures of African spirituality. And in that zodiac system, we are in the season of the witch and the judge. And that's what this symbolizes. So if you want one of these to decorate your sacred space with your sacred energy, head iiiYansaje to Muse up for an astrology reading. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. And we're going to head on over and do our tarot draw. Sit this down. This is fun. I'm getting used to it. Now, look what we have here. This is from my Mayan Oracle Tarot deck, and this is polarity, and polarity is inverted. This is a 2. Now the Mayan Oracle deck is my favorite out of all of my tarot decks because it doesn't stick to the traditional 4 suits. It has star glyphs, it has lenses, and it has numbers. And this is a numbers card. So notice we had a numbers card from Moon Day, which is a 6 of Wands. And then we had Tuesday, we had a major arcane in the dazzling light from the Kemetic Tarot deck. And now the numerology is taking us back to the numbers and has turned the 2 upside down. So 2 is the number of the divine feminine right after the divine masculine of number 1. 2 is also representative of the year we live in, 2022, and it represents our polarities, with the polarities inverted. This card's message is to keep an eye on your polarity, and I would say by being honest with your duality. This is what makes shadow work the most important. This is why we have to check our egos and check our reasons and check our motives behind why we say and do things, because all of us have that light. All of us have that shadow. And the shadow isn't evil. It's just either balanced or imbalanced in a way that does or does not work with your higher self. So this card at a week's climax, this is a good card to meditate on, especially starting out a new month. So let's keep an eye on our polarities and our dualities and keep those inner scales balanced, shall we? All right. Again, once I finish having fun with this broadcast, I'm going to post the links that everyone needs to get readings from me and purchase the Evo book and all of those things. So, let me show you a little bit more about what to expect music-wise when you beam up to the mothership. Check it out. Wednesdays, Mercury, Uranus, purples, Ibashe Oya, Ibashe Nanaburu, maroons, exotic voices of the mothers. Welcome to Wednesdays on the Mothership. 222.9. Beam up. Oh, yes. It's about that time. When the hour is good and late, when solitude may not be such a good thing, it's time to go deeper inside the many visions of what love looks like. The most powerful force of it all, love. The spark that makes life worth living. Love. That thing we all want and need. Love. One potent drop will send you to your knees. Love. We try to make rules where there aren't any. Love. I could go on and on forever, like we want our love to last. Love. It takes all and quarantines nothing. Love. So addictive in its many forms. Love. High, low, above, over, under the norm. Oh, don't be shy. 'Cause somewhere down the line, we're all about that life. So join me on weeknights at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time for a love-filled, lovely musical wind down, a deeper look inside what love looks like. Slow jams, blue lights in the basement kind of love, the kind that creates generations. Only on your mystic musical haven on the airwaves. 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up. The world is ever changing on a massive scale, and more everyday people are finding themselves in a place of self-mastery, downloading concepts picked from the ancestral air and crafting a better world, one trade at a time. To learn more about these everyday people, join us at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to be inspired by the remarkable achievements and journeys of everyday people just like you. Only on 222.9, the Mothership, your mystic musical haven on the airwaves. Beam up. And we are back. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, in case you're just now joining us, and this is Bars, Bottles, and Cards. An online solo return for moi, yours truly, iiiYansaje Muse, with all that musical mojo, and the mother of the ship. So we just left off on Wednesday's groove. So now Wednesday heads into Thursday, where the planetary rotation shifts to the masculine, expansive Jupiter, the prelude to the weekend, the day that many systems of African spirituality venerate Shango, and 222.9 the Mothership is about preserving tradition, so we follow suit around these parts. So we're in the day of Shango, the Reds, the expansive energy. And this is where we get a lot of our what I call fire starter fathers, if that makes sense to you. Take a look. This is what you can expect jam-wise as far as the planetary old school groove. Take a look. Thursday's Reds Jupiter expansion. Cheese. Sensual voices of the fathers. Sacral chakra healing. Ibashe Shango, Ibashe Dada, Ibashe Aganju. Welcome to Thursdays on the Mothership. 222.9. Beam up. All right, back to the bars. This piece is about the divine, delicate balance between confidence and arrogance, humility and pride. And this poem is called The Farewell to Alias. And it's about understanding that we're energy. Everything is energy. We're nothing and everything, all at the same time. All right, here we go. I painted this one iridescent for you. Listen. What do you call me? What's my name? I've tossed back B-word, whore, property, and all other badges of shame, including dame, enjoying my strange. I'm chameleonistic, ever evolutionary and change. See, names are limited, place bars on the spirit, especially when uncalled out of turn or don't quite fit, like monkey wrenches at toss-off planet accesses, or libraries full of books sure to hide real facts, or lash marks on ancestral slave backs. Adult hip squeezed in high school jeans, can't quite put a thumb on what my soul really means. Just call me majestically uncategorized. Busting the stitches on a history, on a herstory, oops herstory, never failing to mention the worship of my Black Madonna picture to access another dimension. The one that hears voices from unmarked ditches call me too big for my britches. The goddess forged my genes in unraveling timelessness, and if any of this seems strange, then rearrange all the languages and lyrics, alphabets, and hieroglyphics on your mental papyrus and call me present day history. Well, I'm history's present, a juju sack of jaspers and jades, exuding a gentle shock to the chakras when I touch, I tase. Amongst my many gifts, call me Jackie of many trades, coppers of darker shades, reflective of my father's gold and mastering his design and plan. I ran across anthologies of time for this specific space to speak in your mind. Call me an extended hand. A message in a crown royal bottle buried under black mountains of sand. Do a double take. Call me namesake of ancestresses and living legend queens whose eyes are wise. They've seen many things. They shine like diamonds and legacy's rings. Or crystal quasar prisms I drop in the sneakers I rock to stay grounded in inverted worlds. Something like sprouting women from girls, doves and pearls, shining like casino dice and improving life's crap game. Call me Royal Flush. Call me the blessing on the money and goddess we trust. Call me the ace, king, queen, jack, joker spread. Aces high, deuces wild, chips stacked, purple, green, black, red. Swept into clutches of words already read and books already read, words already said, regurgitated like vomit. Somebody call the doc. My books went miss and call me Miss Enoch. My word soup is fed to restoration's heads, many focused on my tail, all overlooking hands that could have swore I was holding nothing. Call me underestimated. No need for fancy facades or chariots, just dust off my musket. Call me Harriet, I love it. Markets deep invested in artificial lips, hips, and tips. Call me imitated, but duplicated, never that. I go back like Marvin Gaye's A-track, sipping Wallace Kool-Aid in the backseat of my daddy's old Cadillac. Call me classic. I'm ancient with this, call me Jurassic. My copper is bliss, you can keep painted plastic. My soul is as pure as alabaster. It makes bad meat go flaccid. Call me Oya's laughter. Call me queen of the chessboard where planets are my pawns. I gave my womb a spine up stretch and created skies and downward dog. The sun rises and sets on my landscape, and it's long, long enough to count the days. Call me from dusk till dawn. I parted my thighs, not a globe is my spawn. Tears in my eyes for so many souls and Ori's gone. Fire in my core from all the many times I've warned. Natural disasters and catastrophes, plagues, I'm tired of the scorn. So I gave the rose where many only see the thorn. Yet my soul remains as sweet as maple. Orion's belt in my hand, humanity over my knee. I teach my cosmic fable. I'm everybody's mama. Call me the hand that rocks the cradle. So cage me if you're able. My husband comes from Mars. I morph in a liquid and seep through the bars. I vaporize off the tip of fine cigars. Call me mind over matter. I'm gifted. Contact high, so get lifted. Oya's child, call me shapeshifter. The kind to give you a rise beyond the Kama Sutra kind. The spark from the base to your mind. The original Kundalini. Call me rise, Dambala, rise. An elixir to the eyes, satanic, my beauty stands accused. I remain peaceful yet passive, but don't get segment and sweet bitch confused. Call me Venus's muse. 5 letters, wrong name, we call her Oshun. Learning, unlearning to be lovers of gluttonous Greek cultures, where comedic backgrounds came to my forefronts and called me stolen. Akashics recovered and distant, profound, like Veve's on the ground. The magic of Miles Davis' sound, call me the Miles that ran the voodoo down. Y'all enjoying yourself? Unladylike or not, I arch my spine and squat, straddled over Saturn, moving my hips in seductive patterns and conjure a master plan of birthing a land where good and evil is discerned only by the return of the fruit of thy hands. Call me my justice. So what do you call me? What's my name? Categories don't fly here. No properties to claim. No presumptions of titles or illusions of rivals. This is my farewell to alias. Call me energy, all things, everything, but still untitled. iiYansaje, JT Muse. Whew. I'm gonna take a quick break after this, and when we come back, I will get into tonight's I Ching. Ashe. Tutuori egun, tutuori egun, tutuori egun, ashe, ashe, ashe ho. One of the greatest ways to honor our ancestors is to simply remember them, to embed their legacy in the forefronts of our minds, to engrave their names on our hearts while feeding our children the alkalinity of their wisdom, to learn from their mistakes while continuing to lay the bricks on the roads they have paved for us. With that said, join me at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to celebrate, explore cosmic insight, and highlight the endless achievements of our ancestors who spent their lives doing remarkable things and making remarkable contributions to humanity. In gratitude, we pour libations over the airwaves. 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up. Reds, vivid red oranges, I Ching readings, iiYansaje glass scored bottle art, fire-inspired handmade healing stone jewelry, books, digital prints, personalized oils and baths, scarlet serene articles, and online courses, and other mystic oddities. It's all inside the Mothership Mystic Boutique, the Jupiter Collection. Okay, and we're back. As you can see here, I'm going to do a little bit of contortionism so that I can explain this I Ching. Okay, in case you're just now joining us, I'm iiYansaje Muse, and you are listening to 222.9 The Mothership, Mystic Internet Radio. And on Thursdays, I like to focus more on my I Ching oracle. It's an ancient oracle of changes. It's a very gentle type of oracle that points things out line by line, using the forces of nature, very derivative of the ancient Odu. Very, very derivative of that. But anyways, I decided to pull an old one tonight that I kept with me because the message just always comes clear over and over. And this is, let me see if I can move the camera to see. So, this I Ching was thrown on during Leo season last year. And it's hexagrams 20 and 42. And in conjunction with Thursday's expansive energy. Seeing is working with what you have in your hand. Seeing is measuring 10 times before you cut once, as opposed to measuring once and having to go back and cut 10 more times. Now, how that connects to the Mayan Oracle card we just read and dealing with your dualities is everything in life right now is in such a rush. Everything's moving so fast. A lot of things are becoming a lot more popcorn and thrown together and things like that. And then we find ourselves having to go back and retrace our steps. There's absolutely nothing wrong with taking your time, is what seeing is assessing everything that's around you, assessing what resonates with your spirit, assessing what does not resonate in your spirit. Now, this whole hexagram changed with just one line, and it went from 20 to 42, increasing. Increasing is increasing internally as opposed to externally. So first you see and you assess what is and what isn't for you by, connecting with what resonates with you and what resonates around you based on what you observe. And you increase by being natural in that energy. See, we tend to think we gotta overwork ourselves and bust our humps and overwork and work hard and work hard and work hard. And many of us are mastering the art of working smart. But then the level up from that is learning how to master working in a way that's divine. And working in a way that's divine is a sense of increasing, because when you're aligned with the things that you are meant to have, they come to you very easily. So assess and then increase. And this is a good thing to meditate on, because when you're in the expansive energy of Jupiter, you tend to increase what you meditate the most on. And when we meditate on our shortcomings and our frustrations with ourselves and things of that nature, we're expanding more things that reflect that energy. So, Again, hexagram 20, seeing, assess what's around you. Line 1, which is the base of this I Ching, changes. And then we go to 42, increasing. Increasing is just being where you are, using the best you have, and just allowing yourself to align with your divine purpose today, and understanding that you have what you need already in your hand to get to your next step. Ashe? All right. Again, just I'm going to continue to have fun with this lovely camera equipment and things of this nature. And when this broadcast is over, I promise, I'm going to post all the information as to how to get a personalized session from me, if that's what you need. So we're going to move on because we got to get to Friday and deal with that loving Oshun energy. Ashe? All right, let's get to it. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, and you are listening to 222.9 The Mothership, and you are watching Bars, Bottles, and Cards, an online solar return with iiiYansaje Muse. Ashe. Yellows, golds, Venus, iiiBashe Oshun, love, sensuality, voices of the mothers. Welcome to Fridays on the Mothership. 222.9. Beam up. And we're back. It's 8 o'clock. Normally, we'd be going into the 1 hour lyricless interlude. But tonight, you're hanging with the mother of the mothership. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, celebrating my solar return. And you're listening to Bars, Bottles, and Cards, where I'm just sharing some of my poems, sharing some artwork, and sharing some tarot readings. Relaxed, up in the mothership in my location where I am. Today's vibrating on a 6. The moon is waxing tonight in Virgo, so that's mutable Mercury meets Uranus and the energy of the fixed sun. So do what you will with that energy. Keeping things rolling along, let's look at some artwork. Now this was another piece I have to touch up on, but this is from the Venus collection, and it's a celebration of the divine feminine energy, as you can see. And this is an example of what you can expect with the Mothership Mystic Boutique. Coming up next, because I've been working on a lot of things, so today I'm really just kind of kicking back and relaxing and getting used to working the equipment and things like that, along with creating artwork. So here's what we can expect with Friday's Venus collection. Take a look. Yellows, oranges, rivers, couples gifts, love. iiiYansa's glass gourd bottle art, medicine woman healing deck tarot readings, consecrated healing stone jewelry, and other mystic oddities. It's all inside the Mothership Mystic Boutique, the Venus collection. May 13th. Blank face, soapstone, my throne, no clones, dripping lyrical honey from my beehive drones or wasp nest. At the behest of my ego, I grow, I go, you'll know. Soon enough. The original rapper, your first hip-hop artist, was the ancient African warrior who told his stories of triumph or defeat over a drum beat. Ever wondered why rappers always say, "Give me a beat"? Well, that beat is the sacred baton of the heart. And what does rap even stand for anyway? Rhythm and poetry. So why not experience it in its raw form? You know, the open style, blaze the mic, spit the bars, poetic gospel. Oh yes. So if you aren't afraid, then join us at 6 p.m. for Rhyme, the Underground Gospel. That's 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, that is, for an hour of straight bars from everyday people. And who knows, you may hear a few of Mama's rhymes, only on your mystic musical haven on the airwaves, 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up. All right, and we are back. So, take a look at this thing. Oh my goodness. This is my very firstborn poetry book called Crying Diamonds, but it's been revised. So this revision is called Crying Diamonds 11 years later. So I'm going to do a little scry trick with this book, and I'm just going to thumb through, and whichever poem my finger lands on is the poem I'm going to read. Let's see. I don't want to read this one. No. That one's too mean. That poem doesn't speak to who I am anymore. Okay, you heard Anonymous Letter already. I like this one. Okay. I haven't read this poem in ages. This poem is called The Race Against Time. I wrote this poem when I was a junior in college at Prairie View A&M University. Listen. Racing against time to the end of life's busy street. Since the clock never rewinds, it reminds me to beat my feet. Blinded by ambition, blessed with intuition, trying to get what's mine. Whether destined or blessed, the camera's flash and my pen is pressed, trying to clear the facts on my mind, trying to raise success, hoping that it beats death to the finish before I diminish. I want to leave my mark on this planet, perhaps the way my maker planned it, fulfilling my calling before he calls me home. How much do we have left? Time, that is. Before the last breath escapes, 60 years, 60 months, 60 days, what if 60 minutes was all you had? And even that's a lot, considering that we've got people leaving by the 6,000s or more at the time. There goes that word again, time. Every 60 seconds, another mourning family wails and cries. 60 seconds is for me enough. Or is it? No, I'm not trying to revisit that thought process, at least not for another few decades, that I have to throw sunshine where others have casted shade. And this is my road. iiiYansaje, longevity. Considering maybe many like me that lay down every night and don't get back up. Every night we kick the bucket, but God tips it back up when he taps us in the morning and wakes us up to another day of life. So time is a luxury that none of us have. So how much will you let pass assing around, running in the same circles, making time to pass judgment and hold grudges and digging heels and don't budge them, mental pictures of broken-hearted fixtures I feel in confession, like I have a borderline obsession with not judging the many transgressions of fellow mankind. Slipping away like sands through my fingers, gripping the pen in my hands to share the thoughts that linger in my mind. Thinking so hard sometimes my vision statics, and a cold sweat in an intained attempt to save mankind. Mental pictures of Negro spirituals, we dressed in black rags, rinsing blood baths over dark paths. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. What day? When every day we play with opportunity. Acting so brand new to be so lost. Have our cries for freedom become masked behind grills, fast cars, dark eyeshadows, and MAC lip glass? Our own acts of violence have silenced our greatest hopes and strongest voices. So gone from oppression by force, now to oppression by choices. Must the moisture rain wash our dreams down the drain for another 40 nights and 40 days before we see the light at the end of the tunnel? Or will you find the right path, get on your mark, and start running to your calling before you diminish? Beat death to the finish. Stay replenished with this love, grace, forgiveness, until you finish the race against time at the end of life's busy street. iiiYansaje Muse. Well, at the time this book was published, I was still poetess extremities. So here's what this book looks like, and I'll make sure I'll post where you can get this book as well. Ashe. Going to take a quick breather before I come back with another tarot draw. Ashe. The world is ever changing on a massive scale, and more everyday people are finding themselves in a place of self-mastery, downloading concepts picked from the ancestral air and crafting a better world, one trade at a time. To learn more about these everyday people, join us at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to be inspired by the remarkable achievements and journeys of everyday people just like you. Only on 222.9, the Mothership, your mystic musical haven on the airwaves. Beam up. 16 years ago to this date, 2021, my radio journey had just begun, and my first radio show was titled The Bamboo Lounge.
Yeah, I'm laying low with Ivory T in the Bamboo Lounge. This is Andre 3000, one half of Outkast. We love y'all. Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Felton Pilot, and you're here with me inside the Bamboo Lounge with Ivory T.
All right, well, I'm here. Are you there? Good. We are now meeting in the Bamboo Lounge with Ivory T. As always, it's your boy, Cat Williams.
Yo, what it do, man? It's your boy, Flipper, man. Right now, I'm inside the Bamboo Lounge with sexy Ivory T. And I mean sexy. Already.
Hey, this is Marcus Johnson, and you're listening to Ivory T and the Bamboo Lounge.
Hi, this is Yolanda Adams, and you're chilling in the Bamboo Lounge with Ivory T.
This is Ivory T, the smooth operator, your host with the most, and you're listening to the Bamboo Lounge Workdays. 16 years later, I bring my first Cosmic Jam session full circle. So join me on weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time for the return of the Bamboo Lounge, Planet Soul. The Bamboo Lounge features classic, old school, throwback, independent tunes of many genres, new rotations, all designed to enhance your space, be it your home, be it your office, your car, or your earbuds and your smartphones on the go. So join me on the Bamboo Lounge Planet Soul from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on your mystic musical haven on the airwaves, 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up. And we're back. It's a 8:15 your 8 o'clock hour. We're getting close to the bottom of the program and time to close. And now let's go to our tarot draw for tonight. All right. All right. So for Fridays, the tarot deck of focus is the Medicine Woman Healing Tarot deck. So this is the one that I focus on Fridays, the main oracle. And as you can see, we drew from the Major Arcane again, which is the card of Strength. Card number 8 showed up of the Major Arcane, and that is the number of infinity, the number sacred to Obatala. On Friday, it is ruled by Venus, of the planet of love, and the higher octave, which is Neptune, the planet of divine compassion. So that's why there's so much love in the air Fridays. And some systems of African spirituality, Fridays are the day that Oshun is venerated. So healing is a tarot card that's on Major Arcane number 8. And healing is just a self-explanatory card. It showed up upright, so that means that coming from the I Ching, seeing, increasing, the more you align, the more the increasing leads to healing when you walk in your alignment. You see how we connected all the different oracles throughout the days of the week? We started on Moon Day with the Six of Wands, and then that showed up upright. So that's the energy of the conductor, okay? And the 6 is the number of the material values and things like that, opposite of the 9, which is the number of intuition. So the 6 of Wands carried over into the dazzling sun by the Kemetic Tarot deck, which spoke to the energy of expansion, ending a chapter and beginning another one, and basking in your alignment. Wednesday's card, the Polarity card, spoke on dealing with your dualities. And dealing with dualities happens when you dazzle in the light. The shadow work is never too far behind. Carry that over into Thursday with the I Ching's 20 and 42, seeing and increasing. Assess everything around you. Increase yourself by alignment. Now we're here Friday with the healing card. The alignment leads to the healing. It shows up upright, it shows up in the infinite number 8, and it lets you know of the infinite possibilities that await you when you allow healing to take place in your life. And that's where a lot of negative things have to be released. There's your message from the Medicine Woman Healing deck. Let's get the camera back on me. There we go. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. I'm iiiYansaje Muse. Thank you for showing and hanging with me and rocking with me, celebrating this solar return here. And now gonna take another quick break before we shift into Saturday's energy.
I'm gonna give it up to the Baba now. Baba Lafia, Gaidi on percussions.
Alafia. This is Bobby Faladay, Alafia Gaidi, aka Okoroon, talking to you from the 222.9, the Mothership. I'll be sharing the secrets of farming in cooperation with nature herself in my show, African Alternative Agriculture. My methods are uncomplicated and simple. I use no chemical fertilizers or chemical pesticides in my garden. Tune in on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to learn how to awaken the ancestral DNA within you so that you might remember how to grow your own food. Remember the proverb, those who do not feed themselves are the slaves of those who feed them. African Alternative Agriculture. Tune in on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tune in, turn your spirit on. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Jimmy. Y'all give him some love now. This is a master drummer. All right.
16 years ago to this date, 2021, my radio journey had just begun, and my first radio show was titled The Bamboo Lounge.
Yeah, I'm laying low with Ivory T in the Bamboo Lounge. This is Andre 3000, one half of Outkast. We love y'all. Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Felton Pilot, and you're here with me inside the Bamboo Lounge with Ivory T.
All right, well.
Shh. Quiet. Calm. We're in the stacks. The world is ever changing on a massive scale, and more everyday people are finding themselves in a place of self-mastery, downloading concepts picked from the ancestral air. May 13th. Blank face, soapstone, my throne, no clones, dripping lyrical honey from my beehive drums or wasp nest at the Oh, yes. It's about that time when the Tutuori egun, tutuori egun, tutuori egun, ashe, ashe, ashe ho. One of the greatest ways to honor our ancestors is every 4 minutes the heavens switch positions, and it will serve your spirit well to have the heads up ahead of time, as every day is special as we know. But this program is designed to bring you the mystic details of what makes each and every day special and different from the one before. It brings an elixir of numerology, astrology in various form, moon phases, daily divinations, and anything else pertaining to cosmic phenomena. Join me at 9 p.m. nightly for this elixir on The Forecast. If you miss your nightly forecast, well, it airs again at 6 a.m. So you can't miss it, at least and not be fully aligned with your day. So make sure that you tune in to The Forecast on 222.9 The Mothership. Beam up. All right, and we're back. So today, now we're at Saturday, the week's absolute end. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, and in case you're just now joining us, this is 222.9 The Mothership Mystic Internet Radio, and I am celebrating my solar return here with all of you, sharing some bottles, some bars, and some cards. So thank you for taking the time to allow me to iron out these kinks and enjoy being online, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming. I want to shout out everybody who showed me love, with all the birthday wishes. I wish all of you the best. I wish all of you love, light, healing, and all that good stuff. And thank you for just remembering the sister on her solar return. Ashe. So now we're at Saturday. Saturn energy. And this is where 222.9 The Mothership plays classic hip-hop, because rappers are griots and griots have crossroads stories. This is the day that many traditions in African spirituality venerate Eshu. Saturday is ruled by Saturn, which is the trickster planet, so it may make sense. Also in other traditions, Saturday is sacred to Babaluaye, but here on the Mothership, Saturday is also sacred to hip-hop. Take a look. All right, and we're back. So, normally, all night I've been kind of reading off the dome, reading out of the books. And right about now, I'm going to drop this one off the dome. And this one is from a book I wrote as well called Memoirs in Waiting. I forgot to bring it to the screen, so I'll show you later. But this poem is called The Tab. It's a favorite by many who are familiar with my poetry. Here goes. I painted this one black and red for you. Listen. Discernment is your only protection, but such is the same as your life. Such is the same as your life. Discernment is your only protection. Discernment is your only protection. The moment you sat, settled in my section, for a menu you asked, ordered a drink pretty fast, and eyed my selection. Hungry? I'm glad. Over your budget? My bad, but on second thought, after every party comes checkout time. Then pay your tab, but such is the same as your life. I've seen your face fall, your weight shift when I slide you the little black book, my gift. I only gave you a look at your options and orchestrated concoctions befitting to your taste with haste. The rest is not mine. So whether you have the dime to afford your good time is yours, and if your credit line declines, you got sleeve to roll back and grind. But such is the same as your life. Discernment is your only protection. Life. A buffet of choices, if you will. Your inner voices hold the wheel. Everything holds such desperate appeal, tossed with succulent sauce and a glossy lemon peel. And on sight I know it looks great, but all you pile on your plate piles on your bill. So how's that salad working? You need another drink? Can I get you anything else, baby? Do you need more time to think? Anything you ask, I'll have quicker than you can blink. But when it's time to pay your tab, don't you look at me. This is what I do, feed the wish of you with many orders to take and plates to pass. I move really fast to bring anything you ask. Down to a T. Down to no vermouth in your cocktail and extra bacon on your club sandwich. You licked your lips, dug in, guess you was famished, and in jest referred to your bill as the damage. But if you choose to glutton, I'm just gonna push the key on that ring up button. Bills don't pile sky high all of a sudden. Just watch what you're taking in. I'm just gonna bring you a plate with a grin. Choose not to keep an eye on your diet, I'll slide it right in front of you. It's tasty, just try it. I'm very compliant, and if you eat it, you buy it. In the bill, I'll just slide it and bat my big eyes. Well, discernment is your only protection, but such is the same as your life. What you looking at me for? I only served you a bite. My cut's a small dab, the house gets the last laugh, and on dollar-plated platters aren't we all have? But on second thought, after every party comes checkout time. Then pay your tab, but such is the same as your life. Signed, H.U. iiYansaje Muse. All right. I was kind of funny when I was clicking through all of the promos because I was making sure you guys saw all the upcoming shows that were coming up. Thank you for listening, as well as tuning in, beaming up, accepting this, and allowing yourself to receive everything that's being given today on bars, bottles, and cards. So, haven't quite finished the montage for Saturdays because I have some other really special things coming up. But I do have a bottle piece I would like to show you that represents the Saturn collection. So the Saturn collection is going to feature more blacks and reds and things of that nature. And as you can see, the cowrie shells are painted, and all of these are my original paintings. So these can be flower vases, they're incense holders, and most importantly, they are recycle items. So I'm recycling bottles and creating paintings out of them, for shrine art, for bases, for home decor, for special gifts, and all those types of things. So once again, when this whole thing wraps, and which is going to be in another 10 minutes, I'm going to log off and then post all the links, okay? All right, so let's keep things rolling. I am going to skip on down to the tarot. All right. Looks like regular playing cards, doesn't it? So this is something I'm going to be teaching about on Saturday, how the very first tarot deck was actually your standard pack of playing cards. So this is why I saved this deck for Saturday, for Crossroad Day, with the black and red of issue, with the old gritty 50s cards, because actually playing cards were my very first divinatory tool before, I began doing readings with Opwele, and not Opwele, I'm sorry, Meridi Logun, and, Obiabata, and things of that sort. My very first oracle was the Cardamancy deck, or the regular old pack of playing cards. And tonight's draw is the Queen of Diamonds. Now, the diamonds in the suit is the suit that represents the south wind, that represents the summer, and that represents wealth and abundance. So let's take this reading all the way back to what we got from Monday, when we had the Six of Wands on Monday, which is the conductors of material wealth and abundance, moving forward into Tuesday's major arcane in the dazzling light, balancing on that Jupiter energy of expansion and that Pisces season of ending things to begin new things. Then the Wednesday draw was the polarity. That's an area to deal with your dualities and your spirit's most climatic point, which came under Wednesday. Mercury, we deal with our shadow sides and our bright sides. Thursday, we shifted into the I Ching of hexagrams 20 and 42, seeing and then increasing, assessing what's around you and increasing by aligning with what your spirit resonates with right in front of you today. Then Friday, the healing card showed up, and now the Queen of Diamonds shows up. So after the healing comes the abundance, is what the page of this week's, if this were a weekly reading, this be the other page of the card before. So again, as I said, you will have to beam up to all 7 channels to stay completely in orbit. But if one certain day resonates with you, for example, if those of you that are more into cardamancy than tarot, then Saturday would be your day to rock with me. If you're more interested in dream interpretation than plant magic, then Monday would be your day to rock with me. If you're more into astrology than you are I Ching, then Wednesday would be your day. But those of you who are the ultimate spiritual riders that just want to stay in and learn everything, you want to beam up to the entire orbit. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, and this is Bars, Bottles, and Cards. So now we're going to shift into Sunday's groove. Ashe. Oh, yes. It's about that time. When the hour is good and late, when solitude may not be such a good thing, it's time to go deeper inside the many visions of what love looks like. The most powerful force of it all, love. The spark that makes life worth living. Love. That thing we all want and need. Love. One potent drop will send you to your knees. Love. We try to make rules where there aren't any. Love. I could go on and on forever, like we want our love to last. Love. It takes all and quarantines nothing. Love. So addictive in its many forms. Love. High, low, above, over, under the norm. Oh, don't be shy, 'cause somewhere down the line, we're all about that life. So join me on weeknights at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time for a love-filled, lovely musical wind-down, a deeper look inside what love looks like. Slow jams. Blue lights in the basement kind of love. The kind that creates generations. Only on your mystic musical haven on the airwaves. 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up. Rest, restore, reflect, purify, gospel, white, old-time religion, ibasheo batala, ibasheo rumila, sermons, humility. Welcome to Sundays on the Mothership. Ashe. "16 years ago to this date, 2021, my radio journey had just begun, and my first radio show was titled The Bamboo Lounge.
Yeah, I'm laying low with Ivory T in the Bamboo Lounge. This is Andre 3000, one half of Outkast. We love y'all. Thank you.
And we're back. So, we're preparing to close this thing out. I'm about 7 minutes over my time, so let me go ahead and give you all the rest of your night so I can finish out celebrating my solar return. If you haven't already, if you've enjoyed the show and would like to continue to show a little bit supportive just for tonight's event, then send a sister a cash app, iiiYansaje, and it was a $9 seed gift, but do whatever is on your heart. I'm iiiYansaje Muse, bringing you the musical mojo, and now we're at the very end of the series, the end of, per se, a week. So I pretty much just took you guys through an entire week of the Mothership in 2 hours. So just imagine that spread out and aligned and saturated through your days of the week. That's why I've been hiding and been such a hermit so long. I had to really prepare something special for the people. The Mothership is something I'm doing free from my heart because, as a full-time diviner, I charge for tarot readings, and I do charge for, spirit works and books and arts, and, we have to do it this way. But I wanted you all to have something that you could tune into for free and get your spirit fed. And this is why this is more of an audio station, and I use the video to advertise it. But make no mistake about it, 222.9 The Mothership is not a podcast. This is a 24/7 station ruled by planetary alignment, the genius of black music, mystic teachings, and poetry by yours truly, as well as famous and local poets. Most importantly, this is a station where we are the stars, and it is my honor and joy to share this with you. So we're at Sunday. On Sundays, you saw a blank white mat on my other camera twice, where you would normally see a tarot card or an I Ching. That was not a mistake, because Sundays are for mystic Bible teachings and for general spiritual advice questions. The oracles rest on Sunday. So, let's get this last poem on the way, and then I'm getting back to my Leo season celebration. Ashe, ashe. What do I want to close it out with? Just in case Mama PK is watching, she always recommends that I do this poem. This poem is her birthday present. So I'm going to perform this poem. This has long been one of my signature poems. And this was a poem that I believe was, I wrote it way ahead of time, I guess. I wrote this poem back in 2007. And this poem is in the book Crying Diamonds, 11 years later, my very first publication. I was born a few years, but 1,000,000 miles ago, I goddess. Exposed my poor soul to the globe long before I had flesh or merely even eyelashes, I goddess. Played a little too long in my bathtub, now the ocean waves still crash at every shoreline, I goddess. Cried the tears that floated the motherland where my ancestors bred warriors centuries before I was merely an embryo. I scratched my head, I swear I've been here before, I goddess. Had a fever for a while, and the temperature of my smile dried the sand dunes of the Sahara. That's why it's called a desert, 'cause I'm so sweet. My name was just mispronounced, I goddess. Denounced negativity and ordained strength for my descendants for the love of upcoming mankind, I goddess. Climbed to the highest point in the world and zephyed, and my true sisters so sweet it long before 1920, I goddess. Wrote my life story in the galaxy long before there was a Greek or a standard alphabet. You still haven't seen the best of me yet, I goddess. Was the dean of the class where Queens Nefertiti, Cleopatra, and Lizzie and Mary all listened intently, because I was of royal blood evidently, I goddess. Exfoliated my skin so my children could have the finest clay for building the finest cathedrals that still stand to this day, I goddess. Took the arrogant fallen angel's hand, slow danced with the devil in a burning room, and whispered to him his father God was coming back for him soon, I goddess. Met Esther and Ruth. They told me Jezebel should not play with my daughters if they were to be bred seekers of truth, I goddess. Used the prime meridian as a treadmill to keep my goddess body's form burning. To this day the globe's still turning, 'cause I'm the trendsetter. I'm the wanted and a go-getter. I'm the fool, but I know better. I'm the danger that flirts in the mysterious fingers up Mona Lisa's skirt, I goddess. Apologize for the thunder, but my stomach rumbled due to my hunger for success, I goddess. Left all these different colored flowers around the world when I was done chopping the cloth for my dress, I goddess. Soaked the earth's soil in my tears and cracked the skies with my laughter, I goddess. Could swear I was supernatural, yet to be seen with earthly eyes, see physicality reality is a nuisance at the bottom of my junk mail pile, and this body of a shell is what lies on the inside. Yet every mountain, every valley, every high point and low depth of this earth was made in my curvaceous frame, and I must say, I goddess. I smiled a little too big for the universe to see. To this day, the sun's still trying to outdo me, I goddess. I'm the dictionary connotated definition of extreme, I goddess. Was the fury of the storm that stirred the slave ships when the middle passage took place. I occupied every time what seemed to feel like an empty space, I goddess. Was a little upset when someone found my doodle pad and thought it was terrific. Now all these ancient pyramids are covered in hieroglyphics, I goddess. Created love one day. When I was writing poetry with the stars and the sky was my paper, too bad only Stevie Wonder saw the ribbon. Every rainbow you see is a minor fragment of me on the days I got lazy and forgot to put away my eyeshadow. I goddess gave the Greek gods the recipes for the sweetest love potions. I started a revolution in goddesses like myself and set the plan in motion. I was the shining star that came through Nelson Mandela's jail cell. I visited Malcolm X and Dr. King's dream and told him his name was Shabazz and not Detroit Red. I goddess. I am woman. I am light. I am strength. I am light. I was the Alpha and the Omega long before numbers were ever created to form a 1, a 9, an 06, or an 11. I goddess. Am the stairway to heaven. I goddess. I'm a runaway love on a one-way track round the universe. That's why I walk circumspectly like I own the world. 'Cause I do. I goddess, dedicated to the divine feminine energy, 2022. Ashe. Now Sunday, of course, is ruled by the sun. That replenishes everything that all the planets orbit around. And I'm sorry, you other 11 zodiac houses, but it's the reason why Leos rule. We're the only ones ruled by the sun, and everything else orbits around the sun. So shout out to all the Leos. But not to worry, I'm going to make sure that I highlight each and every zodiac season here on the Mothership and how we can appreciate all of each other's energy, because of course we're all going to say we're in the best zodiac house, but I'm going to teach more about how to appreciate other people's zodiac houses too. But that concludes tonight's show. Thank you for joining me for Bars, Bottles, and Cards. I'm iiiYansaje T Muse, getting ready to sign off. And if you would like to stay in the groove, then beam up to the Mothership. But the visual part, gotta shut it down. I got about 3 hours and 10 more minutes to celebrate my solar return. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed the show, please Cash App a sister, iiiYansa, and beam up to the Mothership. Back to the groove. Good night. Thank you for joining me.